Welcome to another new episode of Get Organised with Decluttr Me with myself, Shalina. Today, I have a dear friend, Luiz from Closets Unlimited with me to talk about everything closets. And we are literally just going to chat away because that's what we do all the time. So welcome, Luiz. I am so happy you're here today.
Thank you, Shalina. It's a pleasure to be here, and I really appreciate the opportunity. And let's have some talks about
we're gonna just
fantastic closets and our fantastic customers who really love to be organized.
Yeah, they love to be organized and have beautiful closets. And you are. I always say to people when I talk about you that I have an eye for organizing. Like I can see straight away how things should be organized, and you have that eye for closets. You see straight away how they should be organized, right?
Well,
or they should be built.
What happens is that the work that we both do is complementary. Meaning, if a customer has a well-designed closet, it allows you to get them organized.
Yes, exactly.
Otherwise, there's no miracle that anybody can make.
No, exactly. No, and yeah, we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about all the kind of designs and everything closets. But first, how did you get into it? Like, what were you doing before you started Closets Unlimited?
You know, I am the oldest of 7.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that's quite a big family.
Yeah.
But a big family with a small house.
Okay.
So that means we always had to stay organized because otherwise life just would not function in a family that size in a limited space. So since being a child, I've always had to stay organized. And I guess that kind of stayed with me.
That's why we're friends.
Yeah, I guess. And then I went to design school later, and it was just furniture design school.
Right. Okay.
And I met a fantastic person who is a teacher, who was my teacher at the time, who is a dear friend until now, decades later. And she inspired me into doing things, and she saw that I had a certain aptitude to do things. And she says, you know what? You can really do well with designing custom-made furniture. And now let's remember, I was a late teenager at the time. So I focused my studies in designing of furniture. And she ended up being my first boss.
Oh, amazing.
And until these days, we still talk, we still communicate. And from there on, it was like, okay, going from designing products until then they go, let's get a store. And then, but it's really fun to meet customers and see what is the design how the design aspect works from the customer side, as opposed to from you being behind a desk and doing things for others. And then, one job after another, one country after another. And decades later, here I am in Dubai with Closets Unlimited and meeting some really fantastic customers who have very special needs to stay well organized.
Yeah. So what kind of products were you making before?
It was always related to home organization.
Right.
So it was always wardrobes. It was always TV units. But it was not initially. It was not from the customer perspective. It was a company where we designed modular pieces, and then we had stores that would sell our product.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So I went from that side of designing now to the side of working directly with the customers.
Right. Yeah.
It's a lot more fun because the interactions with the customers are really precious.
Yeah. No, it is. And then you get to see, like I do, what they have already, and to sort of, I suppose, build their vision, right? To build something that they want to have in their house that will work for them.
Yeah, well, actually, that is probably one of the first part of the conversation that we have, because our appointments with the customers are very interactive. We never take the approach of, I know exactly what you need. I don't know the person yet. I need to get to know them first.
Yes.
And one of the things part of the conversation is, tell me, how do you envision your closet to be?
Okay.
How do you envision your mornings when you're getting ready to go out?
That's perfect. Okay. Yeah.
And it's amazing. The customers share with us things that I go like, okay, they are actually doing my job. Because when they tell me what they need and how they see themselves every day, and what is the feeling they want to have, for example, when they walk into that closet and they say, I want to feel this way. I want it to be my sanctuary. Now I already know lighting will be special. A place for a dresser for the makeup will be special. And they will give us indications like, okay, I have a really nice collection of shoes. Now we also know, when designing for this person, we need to prioritize, give a prime space of the closet for those shoes or whatever else may be.
Right. Do you look at their shoes and see how big their shoes are? Because you know what? I had a client, they bought and had an expensive closet built for them. The man's shoes were so big, the shoes didn't fit in the closet.
It is part of it's part of the process.
Right. Okay.
Usually,
that's good to hear.
It's part of the process. I mean, because usually, if a closet is of a regular size or a good big size, that is not an issue. But sometimes people say, you know what? I really want to get my shoes on that corner there, and this space is limited. Then we need to go and say, okay, let's talk about that. Since we're discussing centimeters now, okay? Do you mind if I ask you, what type of shoes are we looking at? Because there are shoes that are small and there are shoes that are extra big. They look more like a boat.
Yeah. Yes.
Mine included. And the other thing is also, you wear more flats? Do you wear high heels? Do you wear hiking boots? You would be surprised that you would think, oh, here in Dubai, we don't have those. No, we do have a lot.
But even most probably the closets that you deal with, these clients are travelers. So for winter, they don't just have one pair of boots. The women alone will have 20 pairs of boots, right? In different sizes.
That's very common.
Yeah. And so they're different lengths as well. So, and a lot of designers.
All of that has to be discussed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I always ask, even throughout the conversation, sometimes, of course, we cannot remember everything in every appointment because the conversation flows based on what the customers want to share. But in the end, we always ask, is there anything else that's important to you that maybe I forgot to ask you? And then comes a surprise sometimes. Oh, I forgot to tell you I have a collection of hats.
Yeah. Yeah, the hats are up. Yeah.
And then, okay, thank you very much, because now we need to review where we're going to put those.
Yeah.
Another thing is, which is very common here in Dubai, because as you mentioned earlier, we have a population of travelers.
Yes. Yeah.
People have loads of luggage. And in many homes, there's no place for the luggage. And we need to plan for that in the closet.
Okay. All right.
So now it's a competition. What is more important to you? Your shoes, your bags, your clothes, the luggage, the hats. And at some point, we need to prioritize and create a design where these things will fit. The surprise is that, and it's good for the clients, usually a well-designed closet will fit the things we discuss with a little extra space for some shopping.
You need to have that, because I have been in closets that have been newly designed closets, and they have not considered, next purchases. I mean, they haven't even considered a lot of things, but they don't think that this person's going to have more things. I mean, I can declutter as much as possible, but they're still going to keep on buying and keeping.
No, they will buy. And there's also the things that, the way I see from our customers is there's stuff that's just fashion.
Yes.
They buy, they wear 1 or 2 seasons, goodbye, declutter. Now, there are many people who buy pieces that are pieces to stay with them for a long, long time. And those will not go away. And that closet will grow. So we always need to, part of the conversation is, how much more space do you need for future, for the shopping? Oh, I think I would like to have space for, 10 more pairs of shoes.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So now at least we know there is a little room to grow along with your purchases of.
But if they say 10 shoes, that's just 10 shoes in one holiday. There most probably 50 shoes in a year.
Yes, we have clients.
Let's be honest.
We have clients who, 200 pairs of shoes.
Yeah, that's normal.
And it's very interesting because sometimes we ask the question, oh, you have many shoes. Oh, I have a lot of shoes. Well, then we go there, it's 20, and 20 is a lot for them. Other people say, I have about 200, and they treat that as like,
it's nothing.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
So everybody's different, and we hope is that everybody has the room to accommodate all of the things that they have.
So what happens if you can't accommodate all of them in that space? Because as we said, like in some communities, like we were talking before we even start recording, but we said some communities like Dubai Hills, Arabian Ranches, I think is bad as well. Like Springs is terrible for space. You can't, even using your magic, you still can't fit a closet that unless you make a whole room a closet, right? You can't fit everything in.
Correct. Well, it's interesting. We live in a city where we are encouraged to shop. We have fantastic shopping everywhere. We are always going out. People are always buying things. However, the homes that we get have limited, let's call it storage space. And now, all of a sudden, it really becomes storage as opposed to that nice display of things organized. So what happens here is, okay, we need to be realistic with the clients. Show me the space that you have. We will measure and we will design according to the space. We do some magic. We really use the space very well, very, very well. There's not a centimeter of space wasted.
So you're not doing like some places or like IKEA is purpose built and you have to fit into their fit. Yours is custom made.
No, we start from the opposite end. I mean, customers come to us because they already know that the ready-made products don't work for them because the heights or the width or whatever doesn't work. So they say, okay, now I need to really use my space very well. And that's when an expert designer is important because now with the discussions with the customers, we can say, okay, we can use this space this way, that way, that way. We can give some advice also because customers come to us with their dream closet in their mind. However, we don't know how realistic that is.
Yeah. The reality is...
That's not their job to know how to make it happen.
Yeah.
So their wish list combined with our expertise, our experience we will review with the clients. Okay, you have this much space here. You have these things that need to go in. Now, let's discuss the possibilities. Because, for example, when designing a closet, there's 3 main ways to design one. Open closet, American style, meaning the closet is all open. When you walk into the room, you see all of the clothes, shoes, you see everything that you have. It becomes a display. It's almost like a boutique.
Okay, so no doors.
No doors. It's all open.
Okay.
That works better when you have a separate room. We call it a walk-in closet. So, but when you have your wardrobe or your closet in the sleeping area, well, you don't want to be sleeping and looking at your clothes. So then the second option would be a closet with shutters, with doors. And now we have 2 options or main options. One of them is doors on hinges and the other one is sliding doors.
Sliding doors always drive me insane. They never seem to work unless maybe you design brilliant ones.
It depends on on which system you use.
Right. Because
there are very high-end systems where these doors are really, really, really good and they save the opening space. So for example, for the customers who have the closet, which is a walk-through. A walk-through is the closet that goes from the sleeping area. You have a corridor going to the bathroom. And you will have a wardrobe on one side and a wardrobe on the other. Well, the corridor is narrow. You cannot have 2 people using the closet at the same time. And if you put doors on hinges, one person opens the door, the other side is dead.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So in those cases, we always advise it would be the best use of the space for you here is sliding doors.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And with the sliding doors, we can do some huge mirrors because people are always asking, give me a full body mirror.
Right, okay.
A big one. Well, then the sliding doors are the ones that work really better. Yeah, so It's a combination of the customers, their wish list, their space, plus our expertise. Not to mention the budget, which is another topic.
Yeah,
that
that's a
needs to
whole
be
other
discussed.
topic. But what do you say to people who want glass doors? Because I always say to clients, they get glass doors, but then there's smudge marks. And, so then, and if they don't have maids all the time cleaning off the smudge marks or themselves cleaning, it can drive you insane. It would drive me insane. But what do you say? Or do you just go, yeah, all right, if you want glass doors?
This is an interesting thing, because another conversation, or part of our appointment, part of our conversation with the clients is, are you looking for your closet to be more functional, or you're looking for beauty?
Right. Okay.
Right? Functionality, leave it to me.
Right.
Because tell me what you need to put in this closet. We will organize we'll not organize. We will create a closet that will fit your things, and then it will be easier for you to stay organized because everything has a space. Okay, so that is one part. Now I forgot your question.
It was about the glass doors.
About the glass
beauty.
doors. About the beauty or versus function. Yeah. Now, some people ask for glass doors, and I say, do you promise me that you're going to stay organized inside that closet 100% of the time?
Yes.
Because a closet with glass doors is beautiful when it's empty.
And it's been organized.
Now, remember that your clothes, if it's a man, shirts of 50 different colors. If it's a lady, all the dresses of different colors and all of those shoes and everything, you see everything beautiful. It's a display. But it will drive you insane if you don't keep it organized all the time. So beautiful when organized. Very unpleasant if it's not organized.
Yeah, and if it's just thrown in, yeah.
However, we have options.
Right.
That give a solution for that.
What's the option?
So there are different types of glass.
Okay.
So clear glass, full transparency.
Yeah, that's awful. No one should get that.
We have colored glass. So it gives you transparency, but much less. And another option is a reflective glass. And this is very nice. You should come visit us and see it.
I haven't seen it for ages, right? Yeah, tell us, what's reflective glass?
This reflective glass is a combination of mirror and glass, but it's not a full mirror and it's not a full glass.
Okay.
So as you walk by, you see your own reflection on the outside, but you can still see parts of the closet inside. It's a combination of everything. So now it's a very good compromise. So I can give you the glass that you want, but it protects you from the disorganization. Well, they should call you in that case.
Yeah, exactly. And they should definitely call me. And then they just have to get someone to clear the smudge marks off the glass.
Well, there's no...
Yeah. But I mean, because people don't realize that. And I had clients, she had, it was a brown colored glass.
Okay.
So it was like, so you couldn't see fully inside, but it was brown. But there was, as soon as we will use, organizing, opening the doors, there was a smudge marks.
Uh-huh.
We try our best not to put, but it's natural, isn't it?
Yeah, well, the system that we use is that has profiles on the edges of the glass.
Okay, so then you can...
So it encourages you to put your hand on the metal profile on the edge to open and close the doors.
Yeah.
So you don't have to put your hands on the mirror.
Yeah. To do that, yeah.
To do that.
Because some of them, they're very thin. They're like, the profile is too thin to hold on to. So you can't do it.
We have a few options. So, and which is another part of the fun thing of designing a closet, because I show the customers all the options and we give them small samples and say, now, you told me that you had that dream closet. Now, let's play with the samples. And we let them select the color, select the glass, select the things, and then we put it into a drawing so they get to see what their closet will be like. So it's a lot of fun to do that. It's very interactive. The thing is, get the customer to do it because it's their closet in the end.
Exactly. It is. It's true. Now, let me talk. All right. This thing, it bugs clients, in normal closets. And I'm always say that you are a genius on this. The corner of the closet, right? That corner. And so we always put formal dresses at the back because that's the only place to put them. But then you can never get to it properly. So what is your genius idea with corner closets?
What happens here is that now I'm going to talk about the closets from 30 years ago.
Okay, yeah, yes. Which they're still using and building.
Which many places are still doing, creating their wardrobes the same way as before. And come on, nowadays there's new hardware, there's new types of hinges, there's technology is evolving, and there are better ways of doing the corners. So, and some of your listeners probably will think, oh my God, I have an L-shaped wardrobe at home, and it's exactly what I'm going to describe now. One end of the wardrobe goes to the very corner, and you need to open one door. You pretty much need to walk inside to reach the clothes in the very back. Impossible to remove it because there's 30 more pieces in front. So whatever is in there, we cannot even call that part of the wardrobe because it's actually storage.
You just put your thick coats or your formal dresses and you never see them again.
And then you forget you have them and you go shopping again.
Yes, because you can't get them.
Because you cannot get them and you don't remember you have them. So we have a different way of designing the corner where the entire L shape of the corner is one unit only.
Okay.
And what we do is we reverse the opening of the doors. So when you open one door, now you open the second door. All of these doors open 180 degrees.
Nice.
So what you have in front of you is the entire closet is open, fully accessible, completely useful.
Right.
And there we can do, now it no longer has to be for those coats that you never wear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now you can make it into your daily use closet because you have access to it.
Yeah. Which is genius. And I don't know why people don't think of that more often when designing closets. But maybe we're giving away your secrets. Well, sorry.
Yeah, I guess I don't want everybody to know because then...
Right.
And another interesting thing about this corner that you mentioned is many of our customers, I'm talking about ladies now in this case, they say, you know what? That can be my party corner.
Yeah.
So because we can do the long hanging on one side, all of the nice, beautiful dresses go on that space. And on the other part of the corner, we focus with the handbags and the shoes. So as you open that full corner, you can match the dress with the bag with the shoes.
That's genius.
All in one corner.
Yes.
And that's not your everyday corner. That is going out for the special occasions.
Yeah.
And it works really well because now everything is protected behind the doors. Everything is together, easy to mix and match. And you can stay organized very easy also.
And you can have the glass doors and display it.
And you can have the glass door. Exactly.
That's important. What other common organizational challenges do you face with clients? I mean, we talked about the corner, we talked about the shoe sizes, but what other ones do you see?
Well, one of them is people have more clothes than space, which we already discussed.
Yeah.
So we use our tricks as much as we can. One of them is it's very common that we need to go and replace existing wardrobes. Okay? Because people who are buying the homes or buying the apartments, they already come with wardrobes that were generic design.
So they're the fitted wardrobes inside.
They're the fitted wardrobes. They may work for you or not.
Most probably not.
Most probably not. So then what happens is these people call us to remove the old wardrobes and design new ones that work for them based on what they need. Some of the things we do is, for example, the hanging rods. We do 2 layers of hanging, one hanging on the bottom, one hanging on the top. So now pretty much you double the amount of hanging space that you have. Okay.
Because that's always tops at the tops, trousers on the bottom.
Yeah. Or some people even do the reverse.
Oh, really?
Yes. And let me tell you why.
Why?
Because if you put the tops on the bottom, so let's talk about a man case now, okay?
Okay.
The jackets and the shirts are deeper.
Yeah.
So they take the full depth of the wardrobe. We put them on the bottom. And then all of the pants, they are narrower.
Yeah.
You can put them on the top. So when you put the pants on the top, they don't come out as much. It allows you to visualize the shirts on the bottom.
Oh my God.
It's just, not many people are comfortable with that idea because they still think, no, my jackets should go on top and my pants should go on the bottom.
Yeah, because you're wearing your top. Because my view is you grab what you're wearing on top and you wear it on the bottom.
Yes, but in some cases, it is cool to reverse because it allows you to visualize the shirts and the jackets on the bottom a lot easier because the pants will not be on your face. They are recessed.
And now I'm using kid hangers instead of full length hangers for trousers.
For the trousers.
Because they're
not as wide.
Yeah, you don't need the big hangers.
Correct.
Like some people use 44 inches when you only need 30 inches.
Exactly. So you're saving some space.
So that works as the same logic. But
so that's one thing. The other thing is challenges. So it's the space. It is really using the space as much as possible. Don't waste anything. I mean, we need to check with the customers. Do you have long hanging, you have medium hanging, you have short hanging? Some people say, oh, but I need a little extra short hanging for skirts. Now it's nice because we can combine this extra short hanging with some drawers on the bottom or some shelves. So what I always tell the customers is the more you share with us, the better a design we can give you back.
I always find that clients don't have enough long hanging. Whatever they've told or whatever they thought, it's never enough.
We try to accommodate, but sometimes you need to compromise. What's more important to the client. The other challenge you asked and that I wanted to point out is, two people, one closet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so now we have that one closet and there's a couple living there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, let's do a little game. What is the percentage of the space person one needs? And what is the percentage of the space that the other person will take?
And I'm finding a lot of men have more than the women.
It's happening, yes.
It is, isn't it?
It used to be 70-30.
Yeah, now it's not.
Now it's very common that we find half and half.
And now recently, last few months, I've had 60-40, men 60, women 40.
Yeah, well, we love it when they have their own separate closets. It's
Believe
not for
me,
everybody, but...
It's the best thing that they're separate. Or if it's different rooms, then it's easier.
Then it's easy, yes. Now, the other thing, the challenge also that happens when you have the two people sharing the same space for the closet is that sometimes one person wants one color, one style. The other person wants another color, another style. And these people are in our showroom, they're discussing, and I can see that they reach that point that's like a stalemate. They look at each other and I go like, okay, now maybe I need to switch from my designer mode to psychologist mode.
Yes. It's funny how we become psychologists in our work, isn't it?
Sometimes we do, because now we need to diffuse that situation.
Yeah.
Because, of course, in the end, I want them to get my design.
Yes.
Okay, I don't want them to just walk away after all of that work that they did with us.
Yeah.
So now, which is okay, so I see that you like white and you like black. Maybe we can get a gray in the middle.
Yeah.
And usually we find a way because we have so many options of colors and textures and things. So I say, let's go back to the samples.
Right.
And I ask person one and person two, please select your 3 favorites.
Okay.
Bring it to the table. And in the end, people
compromise.
People compromise and people get what they need.
So what are the current trends going on right now with colors and stuff? Because for a long time it was gold accents and beige and gold, right?
So the rose gold is going on at the moment. Beiges and light wood colors are also going. But at the same time, we have at the moment there's multiple trends.
Right.
One of them is the grays, dark grays.
Yes, I'm seeing that.
People are putting a lot of dark grays in their homes.
Oh yeah, you did that on the Palm, the client we worked with together.
Correct. We had that one all gray. We recently did one where the entire home is white and gray and black. Came out really beautiful.
Oh, send me pictures of that one.
Yeah. At first I was like, this family is selecting something a little bit extreme. But after all, we are not the full architect. We are designing their organization spaces. So we did the kitchens, we did library. Kitchens, because there were 2. We did all of their closets, library, toy room. And I was thinking, oh my God, this is going to be a little bit harsh. But in the end, after the interior designer and the architect finished their job, they soften the strong tones with things in the middle. And you walk into that home, it is just such a pleasant place to be in. So, and that client is like super organized now. Yeah, and they got that really beautiful closet done. Or not only the closet, the entire home is done. Yeah. So the trends are, it also depends on the neighborhood where you live. Because we need to bring in how certain areas of Dubai, depending on the developer. I call that there's two Dubais. There's the beige Dubai and there's the gray Dubai.
So beige is what, emo?
Yes.
I know.
You got, yes, Imar, most of their developments come with beiges and browns.
And what's Nikhil? Grey.
Gray, and Damak is also.
Is it?
So you go to Damak Hills, is a predominantly gray, white. So
that's surprising because they have beige on the outside.
Yeah, but in the inside, there's a lot of gray, light grays going. So sometimes when people call, we already know when we go to the appointment, what samples should I bring? Because we can guess what's already there.
And what they're resonating
and
with.
If people are doing a full remodel, we don't know because everything will change. But if they're doing a small remodel to complement what's already there, then we know we need to bring in colors that will blend. So it's very funny because, you kind of can guess, by the address, how it's going to be.
Yeah, no, you're right. And it's true. It's very true.
Yes. It's very...
And like you did a kitchen and two closets and a storeroom for an apartment. I came in afterwards, and then the client told me that she'd used you guys, but that was beige, and that was also an email building.
There you go.
I'm sure it was an email building. It was in Business Bay or downtown?
In Business Bay,
no, downtown.
Downtown?
Yeah. So it was beige. Yeah. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful closet, and everything was beautiful. And even when I was doing it, I was like, this is a really well-made closet. And there's very few companies, I know immediately which companies now.
Okay.
So I was like, this is really well made. This is really beautiful. And then she said afterwards, it was you guys. And I went, of course.
Okay.
Not bigging you up too much. Like, this is not an advertisement, but this is.
But you see, another thing that is part of our conversation also is, having a well-designed closet is just the first step. Because I've seen people that, a few months later, we may do a quick visit or something for maybe some small maintenance. And I look at that closet and I go, oh my God, what's the point? It's a mess. So we always also have this conversation, having a well-designed closet is part one. Now, part two is you need to stay organized. We promote the organization by giving you spaces for everything that makes it easier for you. But you need to stay organized. And if you cannot do it yourself, get professional help as you got a professional help with me in designing the closet.
Well, it's like I always say that, if you have a leak in your sink, you would get a plumber. So if you have in the same, if you want to design a proper closet, get you. If you want to organize, get me.
Exactly. Go to the specialists of each area because we know the details and the trends and what's happening, and we have the best solutions for all of these things. A generalist does not know as much. Maybe now I could talk about, cases that we have where customers say, but I'm thinking of giving my entire job to my contractor. And we already know that the contractor is a specialist in some things, usually not in designing closets. That's just not that level of detail that goes into designing a really good closet is not part of their expertise.
No, because as you said, they're generalists and they might do closets and kitchens, but they do the same thing. They'll do the same stupid thing with the corner. They'll do the same stupid thing with drawers. They'll give narrow drawers and you can't put bras in.
God, don't get me started about that. Actually, that's one of the things that when we were talking about tricks to make the spaces look bigger, like I see so many people who are removing those old closets. It's like their drawers are like 30 centimeters wide, 40. Come on, you put 5 pairs of socks, the drawer is full. It makes no sense.
It drives me insane. Like,
a drawer should be wide as possible. Of course, respecting the limits of size, because the hardware has limits before things will break.
yeah, exactly.
Okay. So, and we know that as well, because there's a long warranty that we offer on the products. So we need to know what are the limitations of the materials. How can we design things properly that will work for that client in the long run without having maintenance visits in the process, because it's intrusive to the family's life.
Yeah. And the thing is, well, if you've spent so much money to get a beautifully made closet, you want it to function for a while, not just for a year or two, like as if you'd buy from a retail store.
Yeah, I would expect it to work for 10 years, unless it's for a child, because we also design closets where people say, okay, well, my son is now 3 years old. Okay, so let's design it for a 3-year-old now, but let's design it in the way that when that child is 7 or 8, with minor adjustments, moving shelves, moving a hanging, moving this, moving that, that child can grow and the closet will grow with the child.
Yeah, that's important. I've noticed that is not considered a lot of times, that to consider that the kid is a child and that it's going to go into its teenage years and the clothes will get bigger. Like they make the space narrow, like 30 centimeters for the depth, and they can become teenagers and then they become big.
3 years later, because children grow so fast.
Yeah.
I mean, you blink and they're adult size.
And they don't have enough shelves or drawer, or maybe they have too many shelves, but not enough hanging. Because
children's closets need to have, there's a lot more folded clothes that go in a child's closet.
Yeah, when they're a baby. But then they get older.
So we need to design it in a way that we can remove certain components and replace them with others using the same structure. So the structure is the same and it stays with the home. Because that's another thing that is also part of designing is we were talking about trends. And there are people who say, no, I'm doing the home for my taste. I want it to reflect who I am. And they will use whatever colors they like. And they have the means to replace if their taste may change. Now, other people prefer to be more timeless, and meaning neutral colors.
But then that helps with the resale value as well.
It helps with the resale value because a lot of people say, oh, this is my dream home. Well, I cannot tell you how many of our clients came to me a few years ago. Oh, this is my dream home. My family is going to grow here. Oh, 3 years later, they call me, Luis, I'm getting another dream home. And there we go, decided again.
Yeah.
So for the people who prefer things to be more on the timeless, I always say, you know what? So, and of course, depends on budget, because for some people, it does not matter. But for others, I always say, you know what? Let's do this. The things that are expensive and fixed, let's go neutral. You want to pop a crazy green color there, do something that's easy and cheap to replace. So the wardrobes and the kitchen, we go more neutral. We'll stay with you for many years. It's timeless. Trends will come, trends will go, but your kitchen or your closet will always be looking good. You can change the color of the rugs. You can change a sofa. You can change the bedding. That's quick and cheap. But you don't have to change the expensive, fixed things. So considering trends and budget, you know, how much of these trends do we want to follow?
And how bored will you get from doing, you know, like I've seen crazy colors. One client has pink and green doors, dark pink and green, and it looks amazing. And she is that kind of creative person. But I do wonder how long it will last.
Well,
until the boredom comes
prepared. That when you go for these things, you need to be prepared that you may get tired in whatever, 1, 2, 3 years. And that means redo it. I mean, we as designers, we don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, no, of course not. No. That's great.
Call me and I'll redo it again in a new color. It's very fine. However, it's our responsibility also to remind the clients, okay, let's do this. The color that you want is a trend of 2024 or 2023 or whatever the year we are. However, let's think of 2028. is that still going to look good or not?
And where will you be in your life? And like and things change. Your body changes. Your views change. Everything changes.
Exactly. Another, you mentioned your body change. That brings me to another topic, which is aging. Most of the closets I see, they don't take the age of people in consideration. What I mean by that is, after a certain age, I'm going to use a number, okay, 55. At that age, you are no longer ready to get on your knees every morning, to catch a pair of shoes on a shelf on the bottom of your closet.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
You need to really bend down very low to get a pair of shoes. So, and I need to discuss that with the client sometimes. I say, no, may I recommend that we do all of your hanging on the bottom of the closet. Hanging, you are standing up, you reach your hand, you grab the hanger, and everything is there. You don't have to bend down to reach a jacket or a top.
Same for tall people.
And same for tall people.
You're tall, so you would understand.
Exactly. And then I say, now what we can do is all of the things that we fold, let's put them from chest or half body up. So now everything is at eye level, easy to reach. Hanging on the bottom, you don't need to get on your knees to reach something on the bottom of the closet. That's clever.
But then what do you do about shoes? So shoes you're putting higher up?
Now it depends on the culture, which is another aspect that we need to consider.
This is another,
Okay? Because we have, that's the beauty actually of living in a multicultural country, where we have people from the East, from the West, from the middle. Some people bring shoes inside the closet. Other people have shoes in a separate room downstairs. And we have to be mindful of all of that.
It depends on the shoes.
And it depends on the shoes. Other people say, no, only my expensive party shoes come to the closet.
Yes, exactly.
The everyday shoes, I have a shoe unit downstairs, under the stairs, wherever that may be.
Those under the stair things, it's a great idea, but most of the ones that I've seen have been completely and utterly useless.
Well, it has to be properly designed.
Yeah, if you design it properly, then you have to tell people, because you have to suggest that to people, because a lot of them out there, like in Mohammed bin Rashid, they have all of them have it under their stairs.
Yeah, well, now it depends on the design of the stairs, because if the stairs are completely closed by concrete, you can use the space under.
Right.
But the new trend now is, for the high-end homes, is that all of the steps of the stairs are floating. Meaning, as you walk up, you get to see between the steps down. That makes that space under the stairs, I don't want to say useless, but limited use. Cannot be used for storage anymore.
You can't.
You can maybe do a little playroom downstairs. You can maybe put a little reading corner, some plants. But again, designing under stair spaces is a challenge.
That's really not clever. I mean, it looks good for the magazine. And
yes, exactly. Architecturally speaking, is beautiful.
But it's not useful.
It's not useful. So I would expect that people who have that type of stairs going up into their home, they have enough space for storage of other things, because under the stairs will not be used.
But the problem is, in a lot of these houses here, like even the very expensive houses, that they don't have extra storage space. It's a big issue in all of these big expensive communities that we work on, that they don't ever have storage rooms or a place, because they convert the storage rooms into toilets, or they expand the living room and the living space. There's a lot of dead space in a lot of these houses.
Yes, there is. Number one, there's a lot of dead space. In some homes, there is way too many corridors.
Yes.
I mean, you just waste, I don't know how many square meters just by having all these corridors and so many doors that kill the space.
Yeah. It's
Which is actually one issue that, complementing on the conversation we had a while ago, is that the lack of space. In many cases, the people who are fortunate enough to have a spare bedroom, they're transforming that spare bedroom into a big walk-in closet. Make that into your primary closet. And the closet that came with the home will become closet number one. And then they have an adjacent bedroom that became a full primary closet. And that's where we can really shine, because the people who have those spaces, they will want it to make it into a, let's call it a sanctuary. It's my space. You know, I want lighting. I want a makeup area. I want a seating area.
An island
with the drawers. Maybe they have a nice chandelier, like beautiful light fixture. It kind of becomes nicer than the kitchen sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, no,
because
they're
the
beautiful.
kitchen is one of the pride points of the home.
Yeah. No, but the closet.
And for many people, the closet is also.
Now, before we end, let's talk about the island, because you and I have, how often I've said to you, I've shown you a house, I've shown you a closet and said, can you design a closet? Can we put an island? And you usually say to me, no, you can't put a closet in there, Shalina. There's not enough room. Now, explain why I am 90% of the time wrong when I suggest an island to you.
Well, you see.
And I have to say, it's 90% of the time that I have you always say no to.
Well, you see, what happens is, and it happens with many of our clients too.
Right.
People are not aware, because that's our job. Okay. The regular people who are not into design, they're not spatially aware.
Yep. So I'm not spatially aware.
You look at a room.
Yeah.
And you imagine, oh, this room is empty. I can have a wardrobe on this side, a wardrobe on that side, and I can put an island in the middle.
Yes.
But you have to remember that you need to walk around that island.
Yes.
So,
yes.
So if we can play with numbers here.
Yeah.
Okay. So a wardrobe in general is 60 centimeters deep.
Right. Okay.
To accommodate the hanging clothes. So if you have 60 centimeters on one side, another wardrobe on the opposite wall, another 60.
Yes.
That's already 120.
That's true. You're right.
Then the minimum you can do an island is an island with drawers on one side only. So that's another 60, 65. We're already at 180, 190. Now you need space to walk around the island safely. And you need space to open the doors of the wardrobe and the space to open the drawers of the island. A minimum to be tight is 80 centimeters on both sides of the island. 80 is also the width of the door that you walk into a room. Okay, so you need to have that space to walk in. So by the time you put all of these things together, many people have the idea that the island fits. But it's either very tight or it doesn't fit.
I'm just thinking, actually, the one on the palm, because that wasn't a great space, was it?
That's the one that we did an island in the middle, right?
Yeah,
and there's closets on both sides.
You're right.
Yes, and that it had to be a small island.
And yeah, we worked as best as we could on that one, but that one was.
But again, there's a limit. I mean,
yeah,
we can do magic.
But you're right, that one was tight for me even to put stuff inside, and
yes, but you still need to walk around. And in that particular case, the closet was between the sleeping area going into the bathroom.
Bathroom, yeah.
Well, you don't want to wake up in the middle of the night and have.
You don't want
a very tight space.
No, you didn't want it. You had a clear space to.
You need space to walk around. Otherwise, at night, and you need to remember.
You're right. You're right.
You may be in a hurry.
You're right. You're right. You're spot on. Yeah, it's funny. Like, yeah, you don't think about it, but then when you see it, you're like, actually, no, that's right. Yeah. So I will stop suggesting islands to you. Anyway, we could just talk for hours.
We could.
We'll have to do this again and talk about our closets again.
It would be my pleasure. Because a lot of things we ended up not talking about.
I know.
But hey,
we had a fun to talk.
Yes, it was a lot of fun and it was good.
No, we're gonna have a part.
It's a lot of fun.
I know.
Actually, this was as fun as, and I always tell our customers also, enjoy the ride when we're designing a closet because it can be so much fun. Don't take stress with you. Leave the stress for us to designers because you need to trust the process, participate, have fun, select the colors because what we are doing with these clients is the same that you do. It's going to bring them peace of mind every morning.
Yeah. And this is what they want. That's what they need. Because the first thing they do is wake up in the morning and you want to be able to find your stuff in less than 5 seconds and find it in a beautiful space and be peace before you go on Shakeside Road or something.
Because if you find them in 5 seconds, it means you have more time to do what really matters,
exactly.
Right?
And so you've designed it perfectly and I've organized it perfectly.
I'm saying you don't need to spend half an hour just to get dressed if you can do that in minutes. And then the other extra time, enjoy your coffee. I don't know, whatever is important to you in the morning, you have more time for that.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's so much. It's true.
Yeah, so that is the fun of what we do.
Yeah, exactly. Now, tell everyone, how can they find out more about you and your company and your team?
Okay, so we are Closets Unlimited. We have 2 showrooms in the UAE. One is in Dubai on Sheikh Zayed Road. One is in Abu Dhabi. We have a very heavy presence in social media. We have a really nice website. Or just call us.
Okay.
And we'll take it from there. We'll help you in the process. And the number is 800 closets.
Oh, it's easy. All right. Well, we're going to put everything in the show
closets.
notes. Oh my God, look at you. You were clever. You got that in.
We got that in, yes. It makes it easy.
It does. We're going to put everything in the show notes so that people can contact you. So thank you so much, Luiz, for being on. And no, we definitely have to chat again.
Okay, Shalina, thank you very much for having us. This was a lot of fun. Thank you so much.
It was awesome. Thank you so much for listening and watching us today. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, press like, share with your friends, share with your family, and get in touch if you have any comments. And I'll talk to you next week. Take care. Bye.